What's up, everybody out there? How are you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Peppie's Point of View. I'm your favorite host, your favorite R&B historian, your favorite music critic, Peppie. And I know I've been away for quite some time, but we're going to talk about that and more. Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, welcome back over here to Peppie's Point of View. Now, before we get into today's countdown, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, I know. It has been 5 months since I last uploaded here on YouTube. 5 months. Yes, I know that sounds like it's been a long time, but I'm here to tell you when you're busy living, loving, laughing, and learning and putting your behind where your heart desires to be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, you find yourself enjoying what you're doing. But let me tell you something. I have not been sitting still. I've been working behind the scenes, building, planning, creating, and expanding. This brand is growing, and sometimes you got to go quiet to level up. So if you haven't already, make sure you're following me on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. I'm not too much doing a lot over there on TikTok. But wherever I am, I'm asking you guys to follow me because what's coming up next? Well, you're going to want to have front row seats. Trust me. Okay. So again, you can follow me on Facebook, which would actually be, my name, Kareem Jones. You can follow me on Facebook, Kareem Jones. You can also follow me on Instagram, Kareem Jones, as well. I know a lot of you guys are probably saying, well, why isn't it not saying Peppie's Point of View? Well, again, as I said before, if you follow me, then you know that there is a method to my madness. And I just let you in on this little bit of how can I put it? It's kind of like, as I said before, when you put your behind where your heart desires to be, and you do what you love, and you continue to do what you love, and then what you will find is what you love doing is actually manifesting into, I guess, what you want to call a business or a profession. So you know, just go with the flow. Over here, you should know by now. I go with the flow. I go with the what's feel good. You know, I'm just in my moments. You understand what I'm saying? And I've learned how to do that, and so that's where I am. So again, follow me. Yes, drama free. Follow me. Well, anyway. So there are new things coming. There are new countdowns that are coming, new debates, obviously, new deep dives into R&B history, and some surprises I'm not ready to announce just yet. But what I decided to do is I don't know. I decided that I wanted to do like my own personal countdown of R&B Divas in 1989. And so I was like, okay, let me get around to doing that. And I was actually working on something else, so I paused that. And as you guys know, yes, over here from time to time, I like to, dish out the dirt on who dropped, kicked who in these entertainment streets, literally and figuratively speaking. And sometimes, I want to stop what I'm doing. I'm like, that'll be a good topic cover, and it's definitely in the moment. But sometimes, as I said before, I'm in my feel good space and I'm like, oh, I just don't want to come out of doing what I'm doing right now. I just want to stay where I am because, I'm just really enjoying it. And so sometimes that's the reason why another reason why I don't post is because, like I said, I'm doing what feels good, to me, putting my behind where my heart desires to be. I told you guys, these things are not just sayings over here. These are things that I actually live, out. So it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. But as I said before, what I'm doing today is that this is Peppie's point of view, 1989, Queens of R&B, hip hop, and soul. So I am actually counting down the top 25, believe it or not, um, R&B divas of 1989. And I came up with all kinds of ways that I wanted to go about doing this. And what I decided to do is that I decided to do it based off rotation, my personal rotation, my playlist versus charts, versus popularity, versus cultural trends, or what have you. This is my own personal. Like I said, this Peppie's point of view, 1989, Queens of R&B and Hip Hop Soul. 1989. All right. And in order for you to have made this countdown, the first thing you had to do is have actually released an album in 1989, not a single, but an album. Um, and it was interesting that when I was going back looking through all of the divas that I could have covered in 1989, I'm like, I can't get you in because you actually released your album in 1988, even though you had some singles in 1989. So that's pretty much what I decided to do. And then I went back and forth. I wanted to do it a particular way, and I changed my mind as far as just sitting down, listening to the music and categorizing them that way. And so then what I decided to do, I said, okay, hold on. I got it. Rotation, my personal rotation. How often do I listen to these songs in a day? How often do I listen to these songs in a week? So on and so forth. you know do I just like the song but I don't play it at all, like personally don't play it at all? So there was a lot of things that came into play with my top 25 list, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so it's going to be quite controversial, definitely going to be controversial. So ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, please, leave your comments. um Today we're stepping back into 1989, one of the most competitive years in R&B, soul, hip hop, and new jack swing history. This is not Billboard based. This is not sales based. This is strictly rotation. What stayed in my cassette deck, what I rewound, what I played until the tape stretched. Some of your favorites are high, and some of the legends are lower than you expect. And yes, I meant every placement. So get comfortable, drop your opinions in the comment, and let's debate like it's 1989 all over again. This is Peppy's point of view. So let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 23. Yes, that's right. Number 25. And I said number 23. I'm sorry. Been a long day already. Number 25, Respect by a Diva. 1989 dance chart powerhouse and club anthem. Fierce, bold, and house driven. But in my R&B rotation, she closes the list. She's still iconic, definitely. I love her work with, oh, what's that guy name? He's a producer. The song is called Walking. Who is she working with on that song called Walking? It's Walking. It's not CNC Music Factory. What is that guy's name? Frankie Knuckles. Yes, I love her work with Frankie Knuckles and a diva. The song is called Walking. I actually saw a documentary with a diva, and I was, you know, just surprised to hear, what her career has been like in the music industry. Reminded me a lot of CC Peniston's story. So just go check her out as well. And I also came across, when you're looking up things, then things starts to fall into your algorithm. And then I came across a diva when she was at the Apollo, and she definitely, I mean, she rocked the house. She rocked the house. Diva did at the Showtime at the Apollo. So check that out when she was there. That lets you know that, yeah, this lady, definitely had a lot of influence even as a house diva. That says a lot when you can get on the Apollo and you can rock the Apollo like that. And I'm here to tell you, she was definitely giving the audience all she had. Heartbeat Seduction, released in 1989 from their debut album Nothing Matters Without Love, this freestyle club banger hit the Billboard Hot 100 and kept seduction firmly in the late 80s dance pop conversation. Certified gold success surrounded the era, and the dance floors were on fire. At first, I was going to do It Takes Two. Then I decided, no, I like Heartbeat better. So I decided to put Heartbeat on the list, their song Heartbeat. And I thought about the song Here Comes the High Stepper. That's the reason why I said, okay, Heartbeat probably has much more of an impact than It Takes Two. So coming in at number 4, it's Seduction. Whew, that's right. Yes, The Boss, Working Overtime, Diana Ross, released in 1989, a legend experimenting. But she's still Diana, ladies and gentlemen. I remember this when it came out, and believe it or not, the single was a very popular single from what I recall in 1989 when it came out. Definitely a different vibe for Diana Ross. I think it made it into the top 10. I think it was a number 3 R&B hit for her. But the song came, and then that was it. There was a lot of controversy around this album. Two things. First of all, her style. She was trying to be, I guess, more urban, more hip hop. I still said it worked. Because she just dressed herself up, in a different style. But Diana was Diana. She still gave us hair, she still gave us body, she still gave us sensuality and all of that, and you can definitely count on having that real good radio friendly track from Diana Ross. So working overtime is definitely in her lane. But again, after that, you didn't hear much more of her. And also, too, she was returning back to Motown. And there was this big deal with her coming back to Motown. I think, of course, the deal was structured that she has some kind of, you know, I would say she had some kind of the deal was structured where she had some kind of executive power, or she was invested in the company somehow or another. She just didn't come back as a recording artist. Like she had, you know, some skin in the game. When she returned to Motown, the way that deal was structured. But again, that single came, it went, and that's what it was. Number 23, Dana Ross, Working Overtime. Coming in at number 22, Miss You Like Crazy, Natalie Cole. A number 1 on the Hot 100 in 1989, and Certified Gold, a flawless adult contemporary crossover. But this list is about my spin button. And, well, I never really cared too much for this song. I like it, but if it was I Live For Your Love, I would say, okay, it would be, higher in my spin rotation. If it was a Jumpstart My Heart, it would be higher. But Miss You Like Crazy, I think she went too far pop for me on this one. But still a decent song. Coming in at number 21, My Redeemer liveth. That's right. We're talking about the gospel, and we're talking about Karen, Twinkie, Jackie, and Dorinda, the Clark sisters. 1989, gospel excellent that dominated spiritual radio and solidified their legacy status. Platinum in ministry impact, and that counts. I actually came across this album not in 1989. Believe it or not, it was 1984 when I came across this album. And I'll probably talk more about them later. But I love the album, and I had to choose a song that would probably be the one that I liked and play often. It would be My Redeemer Liveth, but my favorite songs on this album, this live album, would be Wonderful Counselor and Trust in Him. Yes, believe it or not, 1994, the Clock Sisters was definitely one of those groups that I started to learn more about. And since 1984, I have followed these ladies' career, and especially Twinkie, and I'll talk more about that later in another video. Coming in at number 20, I Can't Wait, Denise Williams. A 1989 R&B entry reminded us Denise's soprano still floated above the noise. Not her biggest chart moment, but vocally undeniable. And no, she's definitely is not using her soprano uh, in this song the way she has used it in other songs. But, you know, when I came across this song, I was like, I forgot all about this song. And I couldn't believe I did. But I think it was one of those songs that just quickly came and went. You didn't hear anything from her after this single that I could remember, So again, it came and went. I remember watching a video and reminding myself, like, man, how did I miss this one? Like, it's not one of those songs that you play all the time or that you remember. But as I was reading the comments under this particular video, someone said this song reminds me of DuckTales. And it does. When I thought about it, I was like, yeah, it does remind me of DuckTales, the cartoon DuckTales. Well, listen to this song, I Can't Wait, and then listen to DuckTales. And there you have it. You'll say, yeah, it reminds you of DuckTales. No More Lies, Miss Chalet, released in 1989, peaked at number 7 on the Hot 100 and went gold. West Coast Sweetness with New Jack Bounce, controversial tone and unforgettable hit. Yes, Miss Chalet. I wanted to actually do Nicety, and Nicety would have ranked higher than No More Lies, but Miss Chalet really did her thing. And again, it was one of those things when you remember what was going on at the time this song was released. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about what was going on in your life, how things were. And I remember that everybody was just pretty much loving Miss Chalet. And it was always the talk, Miss Chalet and Dr. Dre, Miss Chalet and Dr. Dre. Everybody was always talking about, the fact that they were dating, and so it is what it is. Just so honestly, you guys would probably say Beyonce and Jay-Z, they definitely were the Beyonce and Jay-Z of my era. I know some of you guys are probably like, what? 1989, Ladies First is 18? You put Queen Latifah's Lady First at 18? Come on, Peppie, you can't be serious. This has to be top 10. I know, I'm sorry, you guys, but 1989 anthem, top 10 rap chart dominance, cultural statement, feminist hip hop royalty. I respect it, but this is R&B diva rotation, baby. And yes, you can easily say that she is definitely an R&B diva. I tell you why. Because I was listening to her and Moni Love on this track, and to see that Queen Latifah, she's rapping, she's singing, she's doing all of that, and then some. I was looking at the video saying to myself, like, man, this you're gonna disappoint a lot of people by putting Ladies First at number 18. But I was like, I love the song. I love it, but it's just not in my rotation. It's just not. And I think it has a lot to do with probably it just being rap. I'm a big R&B music fan, but I don't know. This one is one of those I was like, "Ugh, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Sorry, Queen. Sorry." Don't Make Me Over is number 17, Sybil. Released in 1989, this Dionne Warwick remake hit 20 on the Hot 100 and went gold, a club radio crossover classic that still hits today. Sybil, Don't Make Me Over is number 17. And again, I remember this song. It was very, I don't know. I think what worked for Sybil with this one is not so much that it was a remake of a Dionne Warwick song, and it was a popular song. I don't think that's it at all. I think two things worked for Sybil with this record. Number one, they made it more up tempo, more danceable type, more of a club type style song. And I think that that's what hit. And it also worked that well, Sybil. She could sing. She looked great in the video. It was the dancing. It was just the perfect time uh, for what Sybil was doing, and what was happening in music. It was just a perfect time for this song to just come out and the way they did it. Yeah, it was just perfect. It really was. Like everybody just enjoyed the song. I think it's still a popular song in the Dionne Warwick catalog. It's just a popular song, period. I think everybody likes Don't Make Me Over, but it was the production style and the dancing that made this one what it was. I know. It's hard, isn't it? Number 16, Ain't Nothing in the World, Mickey Howard. I'm sorry, you guys. I know. Listen, at this moment in time, I think I'm dodging tomatoes. I know everybody's like, come on, Peppie, you can't be serious. Mickey Howard is number 16, Ain't Nothing in the World. This was a number one R&B hit, and you put it at 16. Come on. I know. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I like Ain't Nothing in the World. It's just not my favorite song by Mickey. Okay. But I like it. I like it. But it's not a song that is heavily in rotation with me. Uh, but hey, it was released in 1989. It was an R&B top 10 hit. Powerhouse vocals and definitely pure emotion. Mickey delivered. Yes, she went to church. It's a club hit. It's a grown woman. It's bluesy. It's all of that. Like there's nothing I can tell you that is wrong with this record, other than I guess it's a tad bit too popish for me. You know, yeah, I think that that's it. But it's a major hit for her. It was. I think it was her first number one, right? But if I had to choose to give you some idea, I like "Ain't Nobody Like You" more than "Ain't Nothing in the World." It's just what it is. My favorite song on this particular album would definitely be "Love Under New Management." It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I know. I'm ducking and dodging you guys right about now. I Miss You Much. Number 15, Janet Jackson. Debuted at number one on the Hot 100 in 1989 and went platinum as a lead single from her Rhythm and Nations 1814. It was a cultural reset. Absolutely. But in my rotation, she's 15, and that's where she's going to be. I know. I know. Number 15, I know you guys are probably saying he can't be serious, but it's my rotation. I know. I remember when this song came out, we were This was the video craze era, honestly. We were looking forward to the video. We heard the song, and if you heard the song first, you was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what the video is like." And then this is also the era of what? World premiere videos. So if you're watching BET and Donnie Simpson is telling you there's going to be a world premiere video, and then you wait and you find out it's Janet Jackson, and then it's I Miss You Much, I promise you, everybody's talking about it, when you go to school the next day. It's just what it is, right? We're done. It's just what it is. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, Mature Love, number 14 with Keisha Jackson, released in 1989 and charted on the R&B charts. And yes, this is Millie Jackson's daughter. Legacy child, sure, but that tone was all her on. Yes, Keisha Jackson, Mature Love. I love this song, up tempo dance track. Uh, yeah, it's just a great song. If she did release another single, I'm not quite sure. And if she released another album, I'm definitely not sure she did, but I'm here to tell you, she's definitely worthy of being on my top 25 list. Definitely. And I know some of you are probably saying, wait a minute, she's above Janet Jackson. It's my list. It's my list. And I would play Mature Love more than I would play I Miss You Much. Number 13, Your Sweetness. The Good Girls, a 1989 R&B top 10 hit that made it form to the front office, made it form to the front office. Sorry about that. A 1989 R&B top 10 hit that was youthful, it was edgy, and of course, it was New Jack flavor. Yeah, I'm not going to say they were underrated. I'm not going to say that. I would say that when these girls came out, or ladies rather, when they came out, I promise you, we were definitely into this group. I said before, I'm going to say it again. This would have been the group that we were all probably have kind of flocked toward, and this could easily have been the group that set the trends for girl groups had En Vogue not come along, because these ladies were, they sound great, they looked great, they had the choreography was great, so on and so forth. But I'm here to tell you, when En Vogue came out, people very quickly forgot about the Good Girls and Seduction and all the other groups that were out. Even the Pointer Sisters came out in 1990. So again, it's just what it was, but definitely, a great group still. They even redid A Love Is Like an Itching in My Heart by the Supremes. I like that song by them. Like, it's just a good group. Yeah, just a good group. Number 13. Number 12. It isn't, it wasn't, it ain't never gonna be. Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston. Released in 1989, this diva duo cracked the R&B top 10 and delivered pure vocal fireworks. 2 generations, 1 mic, and yes, I didn't rank it higher. Yes, you can stay mad. But I think I ranked it at number 12, and I don't think this song was this song. Yeah, it was in the top 10. I think it was probably number 10 or 11 actually on the chart. So it is what it is. So I think that this song is probably, placed roundabout where it charted. So, hey, it is what it is. I like the song. I think I like the message in the song as far as to how they go back and forth with each other, right? Younger, older, so on and so forth. I think the concept worked great. I love, the scatting, at the end of the record. I love the dialogue between them as they're, ending the song. I just think it was a great record. But if you really and truly think about it, it's like something about the record was missing. I'm not quite sure what it was that was missing. I think it could have had a different production or a different flow as to the reason why, it didn't really take on the life that it should have taken, as far as the longevity on the charts. It's the production, definitely, that was a tad bit off. It was like they tried to mix Aretha's style of production and Whitney's style of production, like how they produced their voices. Uh, but it just something was off. Something was off to me with this record. But anyway, still decent. Still play it all the time. Yes, I play it in a heartbeat. Coming in at number 11, If You Ask Me To, Patti LaBelle. Released in 1989, it peaked at number 19 on the Hot 100 and number 10 on the R&B chart. Um, Earning gold status. And yes, Celine took it global, of course. Patti LaBelle always says, she sold 5 copies, and Celine sold millions of copies, and still to this day, she says she can't figure out why hers did not do as well as Celine. And I said once before, I said again, it is what you think it is. It's record company politics. It's black, it's white, it's pop, it's urban. It's your management, it's your record company. It's all of those things. To be quite honest with you, and sometimes it's just what it is. We know Patti LaBelle can do it. How we know Patti LaBelle can do it? Because she delivered with On My Own. That was a major hit for her. So we know she can do it. But again, like I said, sometimes it's timing. It's all of that stuff. It is what it is. Great song, by the way. Love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering into the top 10. I know. And you guys are probably saying to yourself, we don't know. Betty Wright. I love Betty Wright. Betty Wright, she returned in 1989 with this silky groove that charted on the R&B listings. Improved longevity is a talent. She walks so others could whisper. Respect the blueprint. You better respect the blueprint. Uh, I would say that Betty Wright showed up in my life at a time where uh, I guess I was understanding living, loving, laughing, and learning. Like I was really in the thick of it. And it was always good to have a Betty Wright song present because she talked about love, she talked about life in her music. And honestly, when people say a person's music spoke to them, I would have to say Betty Wright's music spoke to me because she wrote about real life experiences. So with her Mother Wit album, for in her For You to Enjoy album, songs like After the Pain, No Gain, Quiet Storm, Keeping Your Loving New. These songs just definitely talk to you about life, and you not only did you think that she was a very smart and intelligent person, Betty Wright, but she actually lived what she was singing and writing about. So again, I love Quiet Storm. It's not my favorite song by her, but it's Quiet Storm is definitely one of those songs in 1989 that, yeah, I'm going to say it's in heavy rotation. I listen to Betty Wright all the time. Coming in at number 9, What You Need. I know. What You Need by Stacey Lattisaw is ranked higher than Janet Jackson's I Miss You Much. Yeah, I listen to What You Need all the time. I love it. A 1989 R&B topper marking Stacey's mature evolution. It cracked the top 10 and reminded everyone she grew up gracefully in the industry. Not a footnote, a foundation. Now it says it's cracked the top 10. I don't remember uh, What You Need charting in the top 10. I think it was a top 40 R&B hit. Where Did We Go From Here is the one that ended up being her number one song on that album, What You Need, because of her duet with Johnny Gill. It's a duet between her and Johnny Gill, but that could be an error on my part. So let me make sure that it's not an error on my part. So I'm just looking that up real quick. Let me check and make sure. Uh, but I love it, and of course, I know people probably saying this is your moment to talk about the Puffy situation, but Puffy, of course, did. Sean Puffy Combs did show up in the video for What You Need. I can't see. I still say it was a top 40. I think it was a top 40 hit. I do on the R&B charts. But nevertheless, it's a song that I will play, and I do play often. What You Need, I do. I'm telling you, I really do this. Gosh, yes, 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 yes. We're getting good. Let Go by Sharon Bryant, released in 1989. This top 10 R&B and top pop 40 single shows Sharon thriving post-Atlantic star. Smooth production, confident delivery, and unfairly overlooked in mainstream retrospectives. You guys, this was a big hit for Sharon Bryant. And this song should have done better, I think, even on the pop charts. Just imagine that this song is in the it's a top 40 single for Sharon Bryant. And this just lets you know that even though some people will argue that, and rightfully so, that Barbara Weathers, her, time with Atlanta Star, they had the biggest hits with Barbara Weathers. But this lets you know that Sharon Bryant definitely could deliver the goods. No question about it at all. And I remember Let Go. And I didn't hear it over the radio. Of course, I was glued into the television watching BET, and I'm telling you, it was an instant like. I instantly loved the song and the video. Of course, but it's 1989. We should have gotten another album from Sharon Bryant. We should have. I don't know why we didn't, because they definitely delivered with Let Go. Of course, I've listened to the album, maybe not my favorite album, but definitely, I think, and this is just me personally, when you have an artist like a Sharon Bryant and she does so well with her first single, I would like to think that that's where you go when you go back into the studio. You don't try to change up anything other than this song hit, so we need more Let Go type songs on the next album. And I know that a trend for a trend or a style of music or production could have easily come and gone very quickly by the time you release your next record. But in my head, I'm like, it only makes sense to do another Let Go type, album, because that's the one that everybody seems to have liked. So let's stay there. But it is what it is. Number 8, Let Go, Sharon Bryant. And rightfully so. I think people, once they realize, they would say, now, I have to agree with you on this one. Sharon Bryant definitely should have been in your top 10. Number 7, Love on Top of Love, Grace Jones. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I played this song. A 1989 club weapon that dominated dance charts and expanded Grace's global dominance. She wasn't chasing R&B radio. She was redefining cool. Too avant-garde for some. That's exactly why she's top 10 here. I remember, seeing this video on BET and saying to myself, I love it. Everything about the song title, the lyrics, Grace, the video, it was like everything just worked. I mean, some people would probably go, huh? But yeah, I will definitely soup cooling action, a juicy lipped passion. Come on now. See, they don't know. They don't know. Number 7, Grace Jones, Love on Top of Love. Coming in at number 6, My Love is Raw, Allison Williams. Released in 1989 from her self-titled debut album, this New Jack Swing gem cracked the top 10 on Billboard's Hot R&B Singles chart and helped establish Allison as one of the soulful voices of the era. Slick production, grown woman confidence, and that unmistakable hook. New Jack at its most refined. It lands at number 6 in my rotation. It says crack the top 10 on the Billboard R&B Singles, but I don't think so. Is it top 10 or was it? I think that song was number 12, wasn't it? Or number 15? Oh gosh. I'm sorry. I thought I looked over all of these numbers. I thought so. Number 12. Number 12. I thought so. So top 20, number 10, number 12. Yeah, sometimes you can get the numbers off just a little bit. So if I'm not mistaken, this was a number 12 single on the R&B charts. So having said all of that, it's still nicely placed here, you know, among the R&B divas, among the queens. But here's what I am going to say. This song actually was not my first choice because Sleep Talk was her first single, and it charted higher. It charted at number 3 on the R&B charts. I remember hearing Sleep Talk, of course, over the radio. I don't think there's a video for Sleep Talk. And then one day I looked up and I see My Love is Raw, and I'm like, oh my gosh, who is this lady? Like I only heard the song Sleep Talk, so I didn't know who Allison Williams was. I was just familiar with the song. So then when I find out when she released My Love is Raw, and there's a video for it, so on and so forth, she's the Sleep Talk, singer. I'm like, oh my gosh, this lady is definitely like she is fierce. She had uh like this Phyllis Hyman type, drag on. She made you think Phyllis Hyman. She made you think Patti LaBelle, and then she would, she's dancing, or she's moving around about in the video with the band. Like I'm here to tell you, like all of that just worked for me when it came to Allison Williams. I instantly liked her. Like there was no question about it. And I love the album. I love the Raw album. I do. I love the song, and I didn't know it at the time, but there's a song on her album called what is it? Something about you think my heart is made of stone, and that there's no reaction when you're near me. From your head to your toes, my love for you steadily grows on and on. Oh my gosh. What is the name of that song? I found out later that it's a remake. It's a remake. Not on the outside. That's it. Not on the outside, and it's a remake. I think one of the Temptations, David Ruffin did the song. Not on the outside, and I was like, wow. Like I love her whole album. The whole album is a great album. Sweet Talk, number 5, Sweet Talk. Deatra Hicks, released in 1989, this R&B top 10 hit was bold, brassy, and Broadway-trained power. She may not get mainstream credit, but vocally, she was competing with the best of them, and I said what I said. We all know Deatra Hicks can definitely sing. She's a singer, okay? And it's the same thing when I heard Deatra Hicks and saw the video for Sweet Talk. It's the same thing. It was like, yes, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. She got it. This is it. But listening to her album, and I've covered her album over here, listen to the album, I was totally taken aback about the fact that the album track and the Sweet Talk single track are two different tracks. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad that they did, kind of go in and, did additional production on for the single. It they definitely did it justice by, uh reproducing it, or if that's what you want to call it. But they definitely, remixed it. How about that? They did some remixing for that song. And yeah, I think that took them again to that next level. And it goes back to say, again, just like Sherman Bryan, just like Deatra Hicks, hey, you got something that worked. You have a working formula for this diva. So why didn't she return with another album? But it is what it is. Moving right along. Number 4. Real Love, Jody Watley is definitely in rotation. Oh, this song wakes you up. This song wakes you up. It wakes you up. You think of all good things with this single. You do. A 1989 dance floor song that hit number 2 on the Hot 100 and went gold. Fashion forward, genre blending, effortlessly cool, and still ahead of its time. Yeah, like I love the video. I love the lyrics. I like. What do you think of when you think of this song? What do I think of rather when I think of this song? I think of, as I said, it makes you want to dance. Uh, it- I don't know why. But I guess it's the video, but I don't know why. But maybe it's Jody's image. But you definitely like want to dress up. You know, and what I mean by dress up, you just want to be cool and hip. You know what I'm saying? Like the way this song is produced, and I don't know why I don't know why I think the way I think. I don't know. It makes you, it makes you wanna, like I said, get out on the dance floor and dance, but you want to dance with your best clothes on. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to, I know, right? You want to dance with your best clothes on, right? It's very chic. It's all of that. It's all of that. It's very Jody. It's very Jody. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Yes, number 3, Something in the Way You Make Me Feel by Stephanie Mills. Dropping in 1989, this groove climbed to number 1 on the R&B chart and reaffirmed Stephanie as an R&B powerhouse. Platinum pipes, effortless control, and yes, I place her above some bigger names. Argue with your auntie. It's the same thing. Like these ladies here, and I don't know. I just don't. I might have to rethink Janet Jackson's "I Miss You Much," but I don't. But here's the deal: I'm thinking about now what you get or how you feel when a song is released for the first time. Janet Jackson's "I Miss You Much," Sharon Brian's "Let Go," Deatra Hicks' "Sweet Talk," uh, uh, um, Something in the Way You Make Me Feel, Allison Williams, My Love Is Raw. It's the same. Jody Watley's Real Love. Like it's the same. Like the feeling is a feeling that you get that you just it's undeniable. You're like, yes, this is it. It makes you feel good. You get real good feel good from it. You get uh you get attitude. You get elegance and beauty, but you don't get what I would call bored, or you feel like these ladies are coming to you with just something kind of, but I don't want to use this word, but I'm gonna say, like, I say it this way, ignorance. They're not ignorant. I want to use the word dumb for some reason, but that might offend people. So I don't want to say dumb, but I would say they come very smart and sophisticated and elegant, assured. it's like knowing, you get the feeling at least either they're either feeling confident or confidence is coming from them. Like they're no slouch. There's nothing slouchy going on, when you see things for the first time. I think people can definitely tell when it's a gimmick and when it's not a gimmick. Right. And most people would probably put Jody Watley in that category and say, okay, well, Jody Watley is like a gimmick type of artist. And I don't mean to offend her when I say that, because she's very like fashion. She's a fashionista. I think that's the word I want to use, and they probably easily would put her, they would say she's probably our, Black Madonna, right? Well, but here's the thing, you know, Jody Watley was conscious about the image that she wanted, when she decided she was going solo. From our understanding, she already had, her image. Like, she came to the record company saying, okay, I got these songs. Here's my concept for how I want to look and, how I want to, represent so on and so forth. So, it is what it is, and I still say that today. So yes, the same thing with Stephanie Mills with this song, that I was just like, kind of like, man, this is it. Stephanie, the way she's dressed in the video, she looks good. She's singing her behind off. Again, seductive, sensual. But I never thought about it this way. I don't know why this just crossed my mind. You know how some people can present themselves in a way that's luring, but at the same time respectful. I think about, I don't know why this is coming to my mind. I think about when she was on the Breakfast Club and she, showed up and Dion Cole was there and she went in to give him, like a kiss and they started kissing and everything. But you look at that and you say, okay, look at Stephanie, but you also mindful, like, wait a minute, you don't cross any boundaries. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, hey, I can be this, but I'm still in control. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I can go there, but I'm still in control. I know how to be it, tame it, let you be it, and tame you. Okay, let me stop. I think I'm going in a direction I want to go in. Baby Come to Me is number 2, Regina Belle. Released in 1989 from Stay With Me album, this sultry slow burn peaked at number 1 on Billboard's Hot R&B Singles chart and helped push the album to gold status. Regina floated vocally while others shouted, and that's why she's hitting at number 1 in my house. Yes, I did say number 1. That wasn't a mix-up saying she's hitting number 1 in my house because I had her at number 1. And I was, going back and forth trying to figure out, but I would say it this way, in fairness, Regina Belle's Baby Come to Me was going to definitely be the number 1 song. I knew that because this song is definitely played multiple times a day. And if it's not played multiple times a day, it's played multiple times in a week. If I skip a day, trust me, I'm going to make up for it because I'm going to hear it multiple times. It's going to be on repeat because I just love her Baby Come to Me. And same thing I said about Stephanie and Jody and Allison and Deatra is the same thing. When you came across Regina Belle, I'm going back to saying it's the same things that you get, from these divas. It's just undeniable, it's unmistakable. And I still say it today, you know, right now, even for Regina Belle. And these are divas that I still like today, even if they're not recording any music, or have any new music out, you got enough of their music already. Now just go out and hear them and see them perform, you know, Forget now if they got an album out or not. You know, they're performing. Go out and hear them perform, right? Good music is good music. Whether if you're listening to it, you know, in your car or you're going to the shows to listen to it. Check them out, right? Regina Bell. It is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're ready. Hopefully, you guys did not skip. Hopefully, you stayed the entire time just to see who the number one person is. Maybe you didn't skip. If you skipped, it is what it is. But hopefully, for those of you who are like, oh my gosh, who is number one in 1989? Let's do it. Oh, wow. Let's do it. I like that. I didn't even think about it. Let's do it. That's right. Let's do it. Speaking of let's do it, that's the opening line from Angela Winbush's 1989 hit single, It's the Real Thing. Yes, I went back and forth with this one and others. She was definitely going to be in the top 10, Angela Winbush. And I was torn back and forth. Where is she? I have to honestly say, respectfully, because that's just who I am. I did not quite have her at the number one spot at all during this time. I just didn't. It is what it is. I did not have her at the number one spot with this song. Songs like Something in the Way You Make Me Feel, Baby Come to Me, uh, were the number one songs. But I know that she's my favorite R&B diva of all the R&B divas. But here's the catch, ladies and gentlemen. I think the reason why she is number one now is because she represents everything that I've talked about with all of these divas. As I said before, I said again when I mentioned Angela Winbush, she is to me like the total package. And here is the reason why. Okay, so sit back for a second, and you're gonna say, "Yeah, I think he's right." I'm gonna just listen to this. It's the real thing. Angela Winbush, released in 1989. This top 10 Billboard Hot, ladies and gentlemen, R&B single proved Angela wasn't just in the conversation; she was steering it. While other divas may have outsold her in certain moments or stacked more Grammy headlines, Angela was stacking something else: control, ownership, and legacy. As 1989 closed, her company, A. Winbush Productions, was shaping the sound of the era, producing for Stephanie Mills' Home, the Isley Brothers' Spend the Night, the sister group Body, Easy to Love, and contributing to Layla Hathaway's self-titled debut. By the end of 1990, she had written and produced 10 charting singles. Among those 10 charting singles, one was a number one, three were top 10s, four were top 20s, and you had a top 30 single, and then you had one of those singles reach number 70 on the US Hot Black Singles chart. And let's be clear, she wasn't just producing hits, she was racking up gold and platinum albums and singles along the way. Outsold by some, maybe. Out empowered, never. Angela Winbush was building her own musical queendom, and that's exactly why she ranks high in my rotation, ladies and gentlemen. It's Angela Winbush. It's the real thing, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the reason why she's number one, because she's number one across the board. Okay? Number one across the board. And that's pretty much it. We've reached number one, and it only took us an hour to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far in my commentary, I think it's only appropriate for me to ask you to, hey, hang out with me, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the share button, leave comments. Let me know what you're thinking and what's on your mind. Hey, this is a new time. This is a new era. This is new space, okay? Old things have passed away and all things have become new. And when I say new, I mean new. So hit me up, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. That is Kareem Jones. That's me. And trust me, you will definitely see the Peppie's Point of View logo somewhere around on that page. Okay. And all of the R&B divas that I have, done commentary on. And every now and then I might dish out the dirt on who dropped kicked who in these entertainment streets. But ladies and gentlemen, hang out with me and leave a comment. Not only that, remember my motto over here is simple. Put your behind where your heart desires to be. And whenever I leave my mother's presence, she always says to me, baby, remember I love you, but God loves you best. I look forward to seeing you next video. And until then, you should know what to do by now. Take care of you. All right, I'm out.